What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite host doing the most, and you know I love the boss. It's Mo Williams tuning in. Hoping everybody having a blessed day. And today, it's a little different episode than normal. I know you hear me say that a lot. It's season one. Season one is about trial and error, what works for me, what don't. I was gonna go out of my way and find a guest, but obviously, if this particular episode come out, then you know that I either didn't pursue one or I couldn't find one. And a lot of people asked about it, but season one, it was already created, and I left these particular episodes open on purpose. But today, what I want to talk to you about is, I know in the intro we talked about starting things. We talked about spirituality. We talked about feeling like you're enough, jumping off the porch if you're an entrepreneur, and many more things. The titles of my episode mean a lot to me. Alone versus lonely, knowing when to let go, eternal nine, mental health, which is very important, credit, housing, whatever you could think of, I can think of. And if you have any ideas, comments, please leave them. But today, this particular episode, I really, really, really want to focus on finishing things. And rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, but the name of this episode is Victory Lap for a reason. Okay, it's a lot of people that's good at starting things, and not gonna lie, when I first started this process, I didn't get a lot of criticism, but everybody gave me ideas and things that they would do. I know everybody cared and stuff like that, but honestly, I had to put myself in position to do what Maurice want to do. Obviously, we're doing something that a lot of people don't do, which is take the less dramatic route, the less, I wouldn't say, if you're not an intellectual, if you're not into learning, this wouldn't be the best process for you, but taking the inspirational route, and I told a lot of people the biggest thing I gotta overcome in every episode is I have to convince someone to let me attempt. I can't assume that I'm inspiring anyone, but I have to convince you to allow me to attempt to persuade you that this is worth listening to. And this really is the victory lap. Like, we in the last leg of the race. It's not over yet, but this will be episode 12. Episode 13, it might be another solo episode dealing with pure black history. I don't know how we're going to tackle that yet. And then episode 14, that's it. But let's focus on finishing things. In the intro, we talked about starting things, and so many people love that episode. But anybody can start something, but the consistency it takes to keep something going and finishing it. Sometimes finishing something can be maintaining that process. A lot of us set goals, and they're very reachable goals, and they're not too outlandish. I want to lose 15 pounds, but you don't exactly have an idea of what you want your body to look like. You just want to lose 15 pounds because you feel like if you run enough miles daily and eat right for 2-3 weeks, you'll get that 15 pounds off. But you never said, I want to lose 15 pounds off my stomach, from this part of my body. So you set a very vague goal, and once you reach that goal, a lot of us have very easily reachable goals. You should put your goals in tiers, bronze, silver, gold, 1, 2, 3, whatever works for you. I put my goals in tiers: a bronze, gold, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, which is over the top. If I'm putting a goal in diamond, it's saying that I want to have X amount of millions, or matter of fact, X amount of billions or something one day. I want to be able to take care of my family and do this, and that. I want a goal that if I reach that goal, then I deserve to chill. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are good at starting things. It's a quick lesson. You cardinal signs, fixed signs, immutable signs. So your cardinal signs are the signs that are good at starting things. They're supposed to be your natural leaders, your Capricorns and those people of the world, the Aries of the world. And your fixed signs, you got Taurus, and mutable signs, you got Virgos and Pisces and stuff like that. It's only if you into those type of things. Then you got different personality types. You got your A types, your B types, whatever it takes. If you're the type of person that need a team of people to help you stay on track and do things so you can finish your race, then that's fine. That's what the victory lap is about. The victory lap is not, it's a marathon, you know. And like I said, Black History Month. Once again, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Not only Nipsey Hussle, not only Kobe Bryant, rest in peace to all the beautiful people who unfortunately lost their life running their race. The end of their race came before they thought it was supposed to come to an end. And I just feel like when you transcend, you know, when you go to that next phase in life, everything that you was meant to do has been done. Good, bad, evil, good. It's already been done. There is no reset button on this life, as far as we know. There is no reset button. So don't live this life with no regrets. But consistency will win the race. It's not about how fast you run your race. It's about finding your pace and running it at a speed that you can run it at. It's okay to get tired. It's okay to stop and get water. But it's not okay to turn around and undo everything you did. It's not okay to walk off the track and just forget about it. It's not okay. It is okay for, let's say you chasing a career and you just find that something about this career that you absolutely just cannot take. It is okay to move on, but it is not okay to move on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. That's unacceptable. You got to find something that works for you. A lot of people say, I can't work for people. In the ideal world, none of us will work for each other, but no work will get done, if you know what I mean. So somebody has to work. There's people out here that make people that will insult you if you are willing to work for a company and you are content with that, and that's okay. But I need those people to understand that everybody's mind is not on $1 million. Some people in this world never will see $1 million combined. If you add the income, every dollar they found on the ground, every coin they found, if you add every dollar they seen in their life in person, they may never ever seen $1 million. And they are happier, and I keep talking about this, they are happier than a person who has millions. Because that money, if you're doing this for money, you're in the wrong business. Me and my mother talked about that with college. If you're running that race known as college, the pursuit of a degree, some people call it a scam. It's not a scam. You just went to school for the wrong purposes. A lot of people go to school, I'm going to go do this, and that. I'm going to be a doctor. They make a lot of money. Yeah, they also go to school for 12 to 15 years. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for the debt that you're going to accumulate? You want to be a surgeon? Are you ready for the lifestyle to be on call 24/7? Are you ready to not really have a life? If you're ready for that, then jump on it. But if you went to school for, it's no disrespect, if you went to school for something that you know that you had no business going to school for, and you saying college is a scam, then you're disgracing yourself. You know, this is not to put nobody down, but I hear so many people call college a scam. You're only calling it a scam because you accumulate debt and it doesn't guarantee you that you're going to get a job. That's the only reason. And some people come right out of school and they get a job. Some people don't. But your goals, your monetary goals is when you get out of high school, I'm going to be rich by the time I turn 23. I'm going to be rich by the time I turn 25. When realistically, that's not the lifestyle that you're living unless you hit the lottery. Not saying that you can't become rich, but you're going to have to do more work than what you think. And, people are greedy. Make sure if you take that entrepreneur path, if that's the leg of the race you want to run, we're going off from college. I might get back on college, but now we're going on to the entrepreneurs. Make sure if you're an entrepreneur, the biggest thing is you're going to deal with ups, you're going to deal with downs, you're going to deal with depression, happiness, all that. Make sure you have your affairs in order. I learned this from Tony 7, who you hear me use a good bit of his music. He puts out music, but he does it the right way that he sees fit. He pays for it to get done the way he wanted it to be done. And, it has copyrights. You can't steal it. That's his music. You don't start a business, a side hustle, and then when tax time comes, you mad at the government because you can't file your taxes because you ain't do your paperwork. And you made all the money. I mean, you didn't pay taxes out. I know taxes is an unfair thing to men, but you didn't pay taxes on none of the money you made. You made it illegally, technically, which I have no problem with that. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is don't be greedy. Don't be upset with the system because you can't file your taxes because you didn't go get your business trademark and all your paperwork in line. That's not the government's problem. That is your problem. If you can't understand that, then, simple enough. Don't be greedy. Money is not everything in this world. It's just something that you need in these states of America to live comfortably in a majority of the world. I guess, I've been doing this podcast since November the 11th. I picked the date I wanted to start. I put energy into it. There were some days where I didn't have much energy, but I still did it, and I'm still running my race. I can't get caught up in I want 100,000 followers by X date if I'm not willing to put in the groundwork and the time to do it. I'm happy with the 61 subscribers on YouTube that I have. I got about 250, 300 subscribers between 6 platforms. Just happy that I made it past 100 views, but I got a couple thousand views, couple hundreds of hours spent in listening and watching. I'm happy with all of that. That was the goal, was to reach one person, and the feedback that I've been given is amazing. But a simple and short message to everybody is make sure you run your race at your pace. That victory lap. The victory lap does not mean when you cross that last line, you done. No. That victory lap means when you pass that milestone, when you get past that point in your life, when you reach that plateau in which you're at, that you are done. And this is the first time in Give 'Em More podcast history you're going to see me take a break for the night. And I'm going to come back at a later date and see if I can keep going from where I'm at, because I have this crazy ability to spend hours combined recording these episodes and not going back to listen to them outside to check the sound quality. But I'm going to take a break, and this is part 1. And part 2, I'm probably going to come back to it in a few days and keep going. Thank you guys for tuning in to this part. Part 2 will be soon. Different thoughts, different day. Thank you. And we are back. Welcome to the Give 'em Mo podcast. This is part 2. I don't want nobody to think that I'm cheating the system or anything, but I literally did take a few days off. I was kind of tired the other day, but I literally took a break for the first time during the episode. I learned that from Jalen. Shout out to We the Chumps podcast, the old podcast I used to be on. But literally took a break because I said I was tired, and that just goes to show you that it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to come back to things. It's about your pace. I don't want nobody to think I'm faking it. I really record part 1 a couple days ago. It was an idea that came to me, but the thoughts wasn't fully developed yet, so I had to stop before I wasted so many minutes of time and have to come back and start over. But like I said, I remember what I said, but I don't exactly know. I don't exactly remember what I said. We're just gonna go with it. And like I said, it's about that victory lap. It's about finding your pace. That's what this episode is about. Finishing things. When it comes to life, if you can't finish something, then I feel like you can't maintain things, and you can't ever get exactly where you want to get. There's some things that you necessarily can't finish. Going to college and getting a degree, you can finish that. But starting a business and maintaining it throughout, you couldn't finish that unless you sold it. And that's the biggest difference is, and like in the beginning we talked about starting things, and very easy to get started. Just did a little research, had some practice and real episodes on my last podcast, and then I wanted to start it. But a few things I started before that I stopped doing. Like I started photography. Haven't consistently done that. And that's a source of income that I could learn, that I could do, because if you ask me, I'm not the best. I'm alright. I know a little bit, but what I don't know, that's what the YouTube of the world is for and things of that nature. But I haven't finished that now. Does that mean I can't get back into it? Yes, but if I get back into it, I need to maintain it this time. It's no more. I'm 25. There's no more starting things without purpose. And finishing things, obviously, you've done all the hard things, honestly. You've done the hardest part, which is letting the fear go to get yourself in position to make these things happen. Now, an even harder part is maintaining. And it's going to sound repetitive, but you really have to understand that if you cannot maintain and finish things, then what is the point in starting them? And I know we don't come into situations with the idea to not finish, but it's important that we do, or we'll be forever in a cycle of not finishing things. I love the life I live. I have no regrets, any of that. I love the fact that whether it's 50 or 100 or however many people decide to tune in weekly, that I provide something that you can listen to and hear, and maybe help you through your day, help you through a month, or maybe inspire you to do something. And that's what the goal is. Not necessarily going to be a particularly long episode, and as you can tell, I probably said it before, I did not use a guest. No, I could have, but this victory lap, this finishing things is important to me. It's been on my mind, and I just wanted to come back. Like I said, part 2. Did this episode about 3 days ago. My mind was everywhere. I just sat down and put it in a recording. And now that my thoughts are clear, now that I'm not at having been at work all day, I can finish and tell you that no matter what you're going through, you just have to keep pushing. That's really what I'm trying to say. No matter what you're going through in life, you have to keep pushing. And you also have to remember that we are all going through life. And just because I handle my obstacles better than you, it doesn't mean I have obstacles. I think a lot of people believe, it seems like people don't understand you unless you relating through trauma or relating through bad scenarios. There are some people who will not walk up to you and freely talk about their problems. There are some people that you never seen one day in your life, and they'll tell you everything about themselves. So you have to be careful. You have to be mindful of who you allow to affect your energy. That's a real big one. A lot of people are draining your energy, and that's why that process of finishing things or maintaining things gets so hard. Is because now you've been doing it for a while. There's an expectation to get better, expectation to exceed the week before, expectation to. But throughout this process, everybody kept telling me it's all about consistency. So as long as I can be consistent, as long as I can sit down and record, I'm going to keep bringing episodes. And I purposely took a break on the Supporters Corner just so it could balance out better with the ending of season 1. And, Supporters Corner will be coming back soon, back on Fridays. Season 1, the official start date for season 2 hasn't been decided yet. But I guess in the last episode, I will give that information out. And I just want to thank everybody who actually tuned in and listened and made it to this part. You are a real Give 'em Mo podcast fan and listener and supporter, and I just hope that I influence you to do something different than you've done before. And like I said, we wasn't going to come to you long because this Victory Lap episode was not pre-thought out or anything. It's just from the top of my head and from the bottom of my heart. I thank everybody who tuned in and listened. Episode 12, finishing thing, or Victory Lap, whichever one we decided to call it. It was an amazing journey. The marathon continued, as Nipsey Hussle said. And just remember, it's not about how fast you run. It's not about how fast you run the race. It's about finding your pace and making these things happen. As long as you cross your finish line, whatever that may be, however many times you have to do it, that's all that matters. It's your favorite host doing the most, and I love the boss. It's Mo Williams. We tuning out. I hope everybody have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in.